In the game of chess, whenever we play our opening, we all begin with moves like development of our bishops and knights. And at last, when our opening is completed, we all get a doubt what we can continue, how can we continue our game. So, in order to clear such doubts, I have brought 6 best middle game planning and tactics that you can play against your opponents in order to win the game easily. Middle game planning number 1, attack along the king side using your pawns. Anyways, let us take this position as an example. We have 2 pawns here that are highlighted g2 and x2. We can use these both pawns in order to push forward and to attack along the king side. Also, we can exchange any of one pawns of these highlighted 2 pawns in order to create one open file for the rook attacking the x7 pawn, which can easily dominate the king's position. Also, we can exchange our pieces like the knight, bishop in order to win the game. Let us begin with g4 in order to push the pawn. Black develops the bishop as the bishop wasn't developed. Here we push the pawn attacking the knight. Knight goes to x5. Now it would not be a good idea to push x4 because let us say if we push it, then we cannot push it forward, which is a disadvantage. So we must not. And as I told you that we can exchange our knight or the bishop. So why don't we exchange our knight by playing knight to g3. Here safely we exchange our knight. Now there is no problem that there are double pawns on same row. There is no problem in that. Actually we have created an open file for the row. We can also attack the x7 pawn using our queen. Let us say how. Rook comes to e8 and then we place our queen to x2, attacking over the pawn. And you can easily dominate the king's position. Middle game planning number 2. Create positional sacrifices in order to win the game easily. In this position, we all know that these 3 highlighted pawns are the shield for black's king, and black king is safe under all these 3 pawns. Why don't we destroy these 3 pawns? So we can destroy the structure by sacrificing the rook for the knight. Here black takes the rook and then we are going to begin by attacking continuously along the king side. Here we play knight to x5, then bishop e7 in order to protect it. Now no matter whatever it does, we are continuously going to attack by playing queen to f2. Anyways, we all are developing these pieces and we can use these highlighted pieces in order to attack along the king side. Here king goes to h8, rook to f1, now attacking along this pawn, rook to g8 and once again e4. Now we can easily push it. Also we have created an open position for our bishop which we can use in order to attack along the king side. The third middle game planning is flip your rooks. For example, in this position, we all know that these rooks are completely powerful and can be used in order to destroy the enemy king. How we can do this? We can play f4 and we can push this rook and can attack along the king side. Anyways, here black plays queen to c7, then we lift our rook and now we can place the rook to g3 as well as the x3 square in order to attack along the king side. Anyways, here knight comes to e4, we can stop these kinds of obstacles that are stopping the rook in order to develop and to attack along the king side. We can safely exchange these pieces and at last we can create a dominating position attacking along the king side. So thereby Rook lift is something that many players should look upon. Fourth middle game planning is to create smart exchanges. Here in this position, we all know that these two bishops are having open diagonal. We all know that these two bishops are having open diagonal along all the sides. And in order to destroy its position, we can exchange these two bishops by our bishops. And these two bishops are completely active while our bishops aren't. So it is a better idea to exchange the active pieces by our inactive pieces. How we can do this? In this position, take some time and try to find out how can we do it. So yes, the answer can be to play bishop to x3, offering a bishop exchange. Here in this position, black takes the bishop and then comes the queen to x5 giving the check, and we can easily win the bishop. The fifth middle game planning is to apply pressure on the opponent's pieces. For example, in this position, white has already castled and has made his king safe, while black hasn't. So why don't we take advantage of this? Here we begin with knight to g5, attacking f7 pawn. Now, in order to stop these attacks, black is forced to make a move that is knight to x6, which is protecting the pawn. And at last, it loses the pawn. Now, again, it is attacking the f7 pawn with a triple attack. And we can easily dominate the king's position as well. Here, in this position, black decides to castle, which can be a mistake. How? Let us say in this position, we are going to play the shocking move, and that is queen to g6. And remember, this is a pin, it cannot take it. And easily we can give a checkmate. And at last, the queen has gone. Middle game planning number 6. Activate your bishops. In this position, let us say our bishops aren't activated properly. So why don't we activate it? Here we can play b3 in order to play bishop to b2 and attack along the long open diagonal. Here comes c5, and then we are going to play bishop to b2 attacking along the open diagonal. Then comes b4. Now what about this light squared bishop? All these pawns are stopping this light squared bishop to develop. So let's remove this obstacle by playing d4, and at last we are offering the pawn. Here black doesn't take and plays d6. Now we take the pawn, and easily we have developed both the bishop, and we can use our knight and can use many other pieces in order to win the game and to attack along the king's side.